Hey guys, and welcome back to my Austria HRE campaign. You see, already in 1423, so about to enter Age of Discovery. I'm starting to record this episode on the beta patch 1.1.2, so we already got a slight update to the experience. This patch pretty much fixed what people called tool apocalypse or lumber doom, where the estates were building so much more than they should. They were using too much lumber, so it was running out of the whole market. Plus there was a lot of additional wealth created out of nowhere. So what you'll notice soon is that mine, but also all of the AI's base tax is gonna drop by around 30%. So in this episode, besides continuous expansion, I want to show you how to further go into more reforms in the HRE, because I learned a few more things. If you're planning to buy a game for the Valentine's Day or for yourself or whatever, this is the perfect moment, because Enaba.com, our sponsor, has an ongoing cashback Valentine's Day sale, and on top of that, if you check the description of the video, I've got another 8% discount code for you. Let's get straight to the video. Well, first of all, I need to start with releasing some subjects from the terrains that I just took over from Hungary. And there's a historical one, I guess that's Transylvania. Let's get them released. And some historical subjects, custom subjects can be also released in here. So, let's start with the HRE thingies. So if you go to the HRE and go to the law that you want to pass, that is in the middle of passing, you see the different resolutions for which the princess can vote for. And when you hover on it, you'll see who actually voted for a specific law, and you'll be seeing reasons why they voted for it. And there's also a note to bribe them. So only when they vote against your law, that's when you can bribe them. If I go to people that already voted for it, I'll be seeing exact reasons why they did so. So we have a better understanding what impacts them to vote for you. So what's important here is, for example, diplomatic reputation and your opinion, their opinion of you. So me actually improving relations with a lot of them, you see the light greens, is gonna help me long term to pass the laws. Let's see for now how this proceeds. If you'll be close to lose that vote, I'm gonna bribe an elector or two to achieve that. One of you also told me that you can go to the Imperial diet to like click one of these things, but I can't click anything here, so I'm actually not sure how this works yet. Well, definitely since I have 4 diplomats, let's keep improving with more people in the HRE. France means Hungary's war. Yeah, okay, as expected. So you see, actually, vast majority of the people voted for our law. I don't have to bribe anyone, you can just go ahead and pass. In the meantime, keep improving, but also I gotta go and start annexing 2 guys at the same time. Should be always my goal, annex 2 subjects at a time. Wiener Neustadt. So we could get more development there and prosperity as an important position, a major hub on our connection to Styria. Well, sure, that's a lot, but I want to see if it's gonna be a follow-up event from this. Bohemia, a prince of the Holy Roman Empire, has converted to the true faith. Nice, looks like Pope finally enforced that on them. So we are soon ready to get the next reform. I think I've got most of the Renaissance advances done. It's half of all of them, but now I can go to meritocracy, or actually wait for the next age to do that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll wait for the next age to take all of this, because I'm gonna get double discount. Let's just double check what else in Renaissance we could take. Oh yeah, I can catch up with like disease resistance, rights of the nobility to tax them more. I don't need any ship stuff, obviously. Yes, Austria. Spy network is actually good, as you'll be creating many claims. Panlock Canal, at one point it will be useful, but max literacy is definitely convincing. It's mostly naval stuff that I am not taking, and let's keep it that way. Anyway, you see, I'm not slowing down expansion, just expanding to Greece. Since I finally got some sailors, let me go ahead and create a ship. You probably know why. Since Bohemia is back to Catholic, I think I should be able to enforce religious unity on their subjects. To actually also make them Catholic. With the ship done, I can put someone from the crown on it. There's not much of a choice. How's our heir, by the way? He's 13 and pretty good admin stats, which, as you'll see, should impact our crown power. 25%? Wasn't it higher? We should increase from 25% to 29%. And also, should probably reunite these two stacks. The only sole leader of our army is not this guy, it's the ruler. So it gets from 29% to 30%. This is so frustrating. This is a notification you cannot turn off. Anyway, time for the next reform. I'm not gonna go for the money one yet, because if you go to the land theater again, you see that the next one I can embrace, the level 5, gives me Imperial comfort policies, which is needed for the centralization of the HRE. And now when we click back on it, I should be having an understanding who is gonna vote how. And looks like we're actually gonna do it easily. Like, let's look at, obviously, for example, the electors are voting for it. Opinion helps a lot, also usefulness of the policy. And Habsburg dynasty power I was mentioning in the last episode. A papal bull that is of huge help also as Emperor is Libertas Ecclesia, as that gives 20% increase in the Imperial authority growth. You know, it is right now growing 0.49. It's gonna be visibly more in a second. You see, 0.59 already. Something that I'd like to do more as well, to be more efficient, is going through some of the subjects I'm not annexing yet, but I'll be annexing later. And doing a subject action of enforcing our culture that gives a lot of liberty desire, but by the time I'm gonna start annexing, it's gonna tick down. So ideally, by the time we start annexing them, they're gonna have the right culture. And the HRE thingy is now passed, which means you have one benefiting policy. For example, to get the next one in here, I need at least 2 of them. So our heir in the end has 75 of admin skill. That's the only skill I care about, so it's not bad. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the von Habsburg dynastic power, because it's dynasty holds as an international organization. It plays a major role within the Holy Roman Empire and is calculated by multiplying the great power score and the ownership over pops within the international organization countries have. So does it mean my fiefdoms that I'm adding to the Holy Roman Empire are increasing this? I think it does. Besides, you know, just myself increasing the amount of the great power score and the pops in the empire. But it's 0.21 already. Did I say something about great heir? Yeah, there he goes. Reduced to atoms. This is really Leopold next in the... Oh my god, he's 0 years old and 52. Might end up in a regency. But maybe he's gonna be ambitious or something. It's time to invest a bit into the counting houses. I think the price shouldn't be that bad. 238, default price is at 400, but acquired goods are cheaper. So only paying much less. Counting houses are increasing local crown power by 33%, so I'm just hoping to increase our overall crown power thanks to this. You see all of these guys already going back up to be loyal, soon to be all loyal. Once this batch of the substance becomes loyal, I'm gonna start enforcing the other ones. If you take a look at the primary culture map mode, this is everyone that I enforced. These 3 counting houses gave me roughly 0.7% of the crown power. It's not much, but it's an honest number. Ottomans actually did not destroy the fortifications in Constantinople. The Theodosian walls are still here, but thankfully they don't have much of control on this location. Actually, they have a decent one, 83, but still, even without occupying it, I can take it in the peace deal. It obviously costs me just this location along 40% war score, but I can take it. Not crossing the Marmara Sea, because I don't see a need for that. We're just keeping good borders and reclaiming Constantinople for the Catholics. I was thinking about releasing Byzantine Empire, and that's not that bad of an idea. They are an OPM here in Tassos. I could annex them and release, and give them even Constantinople. That's an amazing roleplay, we're gonna do that. In the meantime, annexing more and more subjects, which is not great for the issue I mentioned earlier, because all of the wealth coming from lack of control is going to the states, and I keep getting less and less average control in my country with all of these expansions, but I have to keep annexing my subjects just so I can create more, because if I only kept releasing subjects without annexing the older ones, then I would end up with all of them being the soil, so I'd have to halt my expansion. But this is fine, because soon we're unlocking the new local governor that's gonna be placed in Buda, our best. Our heir is intelligent, so he has extra 0.50 admin ability growth. Well, it's not the best trait he could get, but at least it is an admin one. And since I released Transylvania in the previous war with Hungary, I now have claims on the province, because they have cores over there, which gives me minus 25% conquers for attacker. I'm not sure I'll be able to fully annex them, but that will be close. The Concordat of Vienna. After lengthy negotiations with Papal delegations, we have finally reached an agreeable point representing both the interests of Austria and Papal state. Sign the treaty would give a new privilege for clergy. There's more monthly Papal influence for us, for not so much of more influence for them. Honestly, that's a good deal, since I don't want to use levies anymore. How I'm approaching my armies is one army with all of my artillery is sieging down, let me actually get a proper general there, and the other one without artillery is just going around and killing their levies. While fighting all these wars, it's time to do the next Imperial law. Just thinking if this should be more worth it to just achieve the comfort policies faster, but now I'll go for the money one. Social and economic imperial tax. Not sure they're gonna accept it, but I'm ready to bribe wherever it is needed. Let's take a look. Let's see. Somebody voted for us already, and this is Mainz. You know, electors, they give so many more votes than non-electors, but you see, not so many of them are happy. Another electors voted nah. The Rhine. Oh, Palatinate of the Rhine. How about... Oh yeah. Just took a loan. I want to say, how about we go and bribe them? See, bribe voter. I just cannot have negative balance. So let's just... maybe first fix the legitimacy and then bribe them. We'll see how many we'll need to bribe. Because you see, without bribes, it's 1,000 versus 472. That's why I have the eyes so bad for this. We have to go to Imperial laws, find the law we are voting for, and hover here to understand how the biggest voters, Bohemia doesn't like me. Let's try my own personal union votes against it. And now bribing cost me 10 prestige? Treasury taxation is what we are working for, right? Yes. Okay, it's fine, it's just 173. And see, that looks better. I pretty much probably just need to bribe the electors. Let's see how far we can get, but you see, yeah, I'll take a loan to do this. It's crazy, I can bribe Bohemia for a ducat. And it worked. Probably they just have very little negative reasons to not vote for it, so I don't have to bribe them as much as the others. But see, now we have a small advantage with just bribing 3 of the electors. I spent like 400 ducats on it. There's the Age of Discovery. As usual, new age means new modifiers. Through that age, we get an exploration monthly cost and colonial maintenance. Wait. Did they change this? Hey, they changed that. Because there's so many more things it used to each age like impact, like for example the cost of locations based on their control. So it's not here. I mean, I don't mind. Let's see the bonuses on each of the focuses. So Diplo is mostly, you know, trade and colonial stuff. One thing that is interesting, two things that are interesting is monthly diplomats. Admin is definitely the most interesting. It has urban building cost, it has building cost, it has bonuses for pop conversion and assimilation speed. More importantly, it has iron output. Let's go for the admin focus. Oh no! No, 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 what did you do? Pope that called me into the war just gave me a bunch of locations somewhere. Oh, it's actually not that bad. They gave me the Venetian locations plus a silver mine here. About antagonists from that action. It's actually also not that bad. Yeah, it's actually totally fine. Where's locations of different religion? Actually, no, that's a Catholic. I mean, I don't mind. My borders are even better. Since we got the new age, there's also the hegemons, and looks like we know if China was united. Goddamn Wu. We are never becoming a diplomatic hegemon, at least not in the next century. Diplomatic, no. Culture, no. Military, no. Economic, no. Naval, no. This is a huge and strong Wu. Well, thanks to, you know, decreasing the size of Hungary steadily, then not having any control over this lands, plus the right CB, you can see that full annexation is just 75 of cost. Let me just make sure this goes to Transylvania as well. Well, now I think the borders will be the perfection. Look at that. Look at that. We took over Bosnia and we took over Moldavia as subjects. Now, the lands that I just took over... I don't want to release Hungary. Let's see if there's anything historical. Not Hungary. I don't think so. Let's just release some custom subjects, but not too many. I can choose a new rival in the place of Hungary. Remember, that's a great CB. Well, how about we do Ottomans then? Even though we are the second great power in the world, we have almost over a fifth of the score of Wu. Yeah, here it goes. Let's see, can we release full of Byzantium? Can we release Byzantium as a subject? I think we can. Yes, Byzantine Empire. Vassal. Are they part of the HRE? No. Look at that. Look at that. This is everything that they have cores on. So it'd be nice casus bellis to go and expand them into Anatolia. The easiest way to get institutions, and I think they should nerf it, is through trade. You see, for example, that Pike and Shot is already in our capital, the trade capital, in Vienna, because it's coming from my trade with Genoa. Printing press is slower, because it needs to come to a market to trade with, and then to us, and same for the New World. If you look at our proximity map, you'll see that, yes, this is gonna be an ideal place for the next local governors to spread it in Hungary and below. Let's actually see where the crucial advances will be in next age. So the local governor is gonna be in the left part, so the pike, no, in the military one, the Pike and Shot. New Road should be in the middle, printing press, and then we also do need the iron output, which is really crucial, which is the New World. So I need all three institutions actually. How about the Austrian advances? Unique content from Austria in this age. Improve relations, 33%, that's actually huge. Military tactics, and that's it for this age. Peter Zlewikk is yet another historical event. Well, it doesn't give me that much, honestly. But sure. What's great is that Moldavia that took over from Hungary is a march, which means their loyalty calculation is separate to vassals and fiefdoms. Rise of the nobility we just discussed. Let's see what we could take. Yeah, ideally I want to decrease their power, not increase like the ruler noble authority. But that blocks them from the cabinet. And so all of my advisors would stop working then. It's not something I should take. Yeah, just take this, increasing their power a little bit. But also there are satisfaction. Let's do another imperial law. And I want to change the contribution law, which I did recently, to do an imperial taxation instead. As those imperial comfort policy. And I think many of them will vote for this. Hey, that's going better than I thought. Yeah, looks like I want to have to convince anyone, bribe to get this voted. Really nice, because if I get this passed, I think next I'll be able to centralize one more level. We proclaim the hegemony after all. The diplomatic one. And that's great because it gives me improved relation bonus, which is huge. I can improve my subjects up to 432 and non-subjects to 216. Since I have most of the goods in the market, I'll actually start investing now into creating cities. There's only few I can get, and towns already done in the locations where it was worth it. Obviously I'll be doing more of them in the future, but for now that's it. Next step is to get a few more cities. So remember, you can only build local governments in the cities. That's why often, aka Buddha, is gonna be my next local governor. What is this? A meeting of the nobility in Hollabrunn. All noble pops in Lower Austria lose 50% satisfaction and join male member Bund. It's just 37 pops. What the hell was that? And we also got the rebel from Kingdom of Hungary. With that debate done, we now have, you see, current number of policies benefiting the emperor at 2, which means I'll be able to change the centralization law to this. Vote for the improved imperial authority, which will allow us to overrule the imperial diet. Myself, I will get diplomatic reputation and monthly imperial authority. I also, my friends, found a mod that shows you the events, historical events of the country, and I found out that, yeah, there is the Schwass mine event for the silver to, increase the output here. But you can only get it as Austria before 1440. Can you imagine that? I cannot get that event anymore. I mean, I will still be able to get that mine, probably with low control, but no ability at all to get that event. I really hope that they include the list of the events, trigger modifiers, and effects of these events in the goddamn game. I just realized we've got a saffron location that we conquered from Hungary. Let's make sure that, yeah, this one has a bioleaf. Stick control could be higher. I think it's just, yeah, it is even a full core. Well, saffron is definitely gonna be off use and the control is still increasing. Oh no, it's actually really bad news that I became a hegemon, because that's gonna impact the vote. You see, it's hegemon. But actually, it's not that big of a problem, because if you look at that, you can easily stop being a hegemon. Actually, I should stop being a hegemon any moment now. By just not using this, but on the other hand, diplomatic reputation increase is also giving you gains to get voted on. So ideally, who just overcomes me here? I've been getting the events about the whole Mailberger rebellion, and you see that they'll surrender if I give nobility a privilege. That is decreasing peasants' enfranchisement. It's also decreasing food consumption for peasants and laborers. It's actually pretty good. I'm not sure I want to give 40% power to the nobility. Or alternatively, I get legitimacy and they'll probably rebel later. Well, you have to rebel. Also, by the way, it's not bad borders, right, for the start date of EU4. I actually do love it. And the great news, we actually have a working Polish-Lithuanian alliance in this game, at last. At least in my game. And they are actually conquering the Teutonic Order. See, I'm taking frontier only these 3 locations. It's anyway, even this 3 is plenty of antagonists I'm gonna receive in the HRE. But this is a silver mine, salt, and a silver mine. These locations were needed for that event that I missed by 8 years. I guess it is fine. Let's just get that antagonist down ASAP for next HRE form. It's time we embrace the institution. It is gonna cost me 30 stability, but it's just too important, especially that I researched everything in the previous ages that I needed to. And as promised, my first sole focus is the local governor. That is sadly behind 9 advances. But since I'm going towards this direction, merchant quarters will be useful. Maximum RGO size for all the silver mines. Guarantee form. Well, at one point the cultural law. Yeah, it's really tempting. Yeah, that one culture's capacity would allow me to accept Hungarian culture. It's bigger than you might think it is. Let's go for it. Same as House of Parliament. It's a very useful building. I think in this tree, well, obviously training will also be useful, but I might not need to rush the military stuff, so let's for now not decide it yet. Georg von Purbach is a good artist at the other end, and he's worth taking a loan for. Do I have to take a loan for him? You know what, it's better to take a loan than do that. By the way, I can already have 54 bioleaves. That's more than I thought I could have. And look, I have 34. I can get 20 more, so I can even start spamming just in the rural locations around the capital. But before that, definitely Schwas for that silver mine. With any control. And does this location in here already have a bioleaf? So why can't I build it? I just don't have money. Because, you know, so far I've been building bioleafs in crucial locations with true goods, plus close to the capital. Now I can invest it further. And these surroundings also still prioritizing better goods, but we are talking about 20 more bioleaves I can get. And Bohemia turned heretic again. God damn it. Look how many claims I'm getting from subjects. The most important ones is the following on the threat with -25 cost. And I have both it on Albania and Epirus, and it's time to clear the borders in here. I think this is also a new casus belli. I've never seen it before. Had you an ultimatum? This is great, but I still destroy enemy is gonna work, especially that it's a show superiority one. Can actually even rival Naples, which is gonna allow me to get claims easily if needed, but more importantly I'll be anyway declaring wars on them to get these lands in here. Let's be try getting that Imperial law for the centralization done. Remember, what allows me to do it stronger is diplomatic reputation, and I actually have a permanent issue here. Reach out to our faith for the diplomatic reputation. Let's just go, since I don't need claims from it. By the way, one of the privileges that they added to the commoners, and I think I'm gonna give it to them, is free mobility for the common people. I mean, they might have had it privilege already, but what they add is commoners are allowed to expand RGOs, which might be a good idea to go for it. Although tax the nobility a bit less, and now that nobility earns so much money, it's not a necessarily good idea to not tax nobility at the maximum. You know what, let's not take it. By the way, we've reached again 1,000 base tax, probably temporarily. If you go here and check the Imperial diet, yeah, you see like the backing is dropping. There's not that many supporters actually. But yet again, we can bribe the electors, remember about that. That's why I'm not necessarily worried that this is happening. Still not sure why I can't click any of the agendas. Guys, actually I think the electors are voting for law because I prioritize improving relations with them. Obviously there's still many yet to vote. General Landtag are lands from the banks of the Danube, Lower Austria to the mountains of Tyrol and Trento, are diverse inhabited by the different interests of desires. That gives me centralization and support in Landtag. Well, since I'm getting that, let's request more taxes. You might be wondering why each time you see me at peace, I'm keeping my army in this gold mine. Well, because steady army here gives control. Currently it is 11 for friendly armies, another 1% from friendly armies in a province overall. So current control here is 75%. Oh, the civil war happened in the end, but they only have these locations. I'm only afraid there might be some follow-up events during the civil war, so let's end it ASAP. There it is. Thank you so much. Diplomatic reputation is gonna be of use. Let's hunt now for more reforms to increase that level. As you see, for the next centralization law, I really can't show you. For the next centralization law, which is revoke privilege already, I think I need 3 more policies that are giving me like benefits, which means I probably have to like do 6 or 7 more in general. Oh, I didn't know fast silver mines are actual buildings. I'm not that worried that I didn't get that event. Gives local silver all to 200%. Looks like it cannot be really improved further. Yeah, well, it produces a lot of silver and it has a lot of wealth, but an actual tax base for us is just 6 because we don't have control yet. This is the middle being core. Does at least go to our market? It goes to Nuremberg. Not good. Well, we'll fix that soon. Most of the Byzantine cores already recovered in Anatolia through just 1 war plus some additional terrains. What I wanted to show you as well, or more like update you on, is new changes, because in the middle of me recording this campaign there's another beta patch. That's how beta patches work. They're making sure that they fix everything before they are released to everyone. 1.1.3. Few changes. There's a new balance to the values, where serfdom is boosted because it doesn't have the levy combat efficiency modifier anymore. Tribes don't no longer end up being super disloyal. Advances, which will be also in this age, that increase the output of lumber, increased by 50% instead of 25% to make sure there's no issues with lumber. There are boosts to Solnis again for more sources of lumber. A few changes like what actually states build, just to rebalance. One of the big changes that they're not gonna build libraries and universities and irrigations, which is often causing issues with specific goods, and they're taking into account population location before they decide to build something. So you're not gonna end up with you should not end up with huge masses of population. Oh well, I declared a war on Naples to fix borders in here, and that caused the Italian wars. Let's see the situation. It's us. I see the French side. There's probably gonna be an Italian league as well. I don't need to attract condottieri. Holy Roman Empire League. How many locations in Italy we own? Yeah, well, definitely. I actually wanted to go into Venice to take over their market and also fix the borders. And since they keep landing navally instead of pushing for Italy, we just keep wiping them. We're already talking about 50,000 losses to only 20,000 from us. I was just curious if other countries were impacted by the previous patch change. And yeah, you can see the same for many more. Reminder. This is our graph, right? Around this part of this timeline. Oh, France was almost killed by that change. How about Spain? Well, yeah. Mamluks, I assume, as well. Yep. And by the way, this is all the bylifs push that we did before we unlock the new roads. I'm keeping my promise. I keep fixing the borders while just expanding a bit on the other side, breaking them, but here in Europe it is perfect. This is obviously Venice, that is one of our next targets. This is interesting law in the HR about 3 cities. It's gonna decrease my trade capacity, so I might leave it for later. But 3 cities are imperial subjects of the emperor. Yeah, let's leave that for later. Let's just take care of the electorates, so I can vote for the limited electors. No, I don't like it. Actually, these are not really benefiting me, this kind of changes. How about electorate organization? Let's vote, yeah, I don't like it. Well, let's change the imperial voting instead, so I can vote for the emperor dynastic preference. Or could I even vote for level 4? No, I have to vote for this first. It's at least more imperial authority for us. And I think here's gonna show the current backing. Like, what's the chance of it actually being passed? This is the best screen to actually follow it. You see how many supporters we have, how many opposers. And yeah, clearly one of the electors voted against. And that's probably Mainz, even though I have 200 relations. Let's see if we can bribe them. And they're gonna agree for 1 ducat. That is the easiest convincing I ever did. Let's see if other electors will be as easy to convince. Well, it looks like I don't even have to do that. I mean, it's really close. Yeah, you see one of them just voted against. But why is it not showing me? It should be weighting by the strength of the vote. I think the best place where I'll be able to check it is... So, hidden in the UI. Go back here. I might be wrong. But go back here. Find this. Find the voting. See who is voting against. Find one of this. Cannot bribe. Well, I know I cannot bribe them from this screen because I don't have diplomat. Let's wait for it. Yes. Oh, seriously, it takes me to this screen. I want to bribe Bohemia. But ducat. We need to convince one more elector in the next 200 days. Easy peasy now. It's anyway not giving, you know, me further centralization. But the next one after this one will give me another progress, not centralization. And here's the local governor at last. As promised and as mentioned, they can be built only in cities. And the next target was always Buda. Let's get it done and hoping for a really nice proximity fix. Remember, I mean, this is good, but it can be better. And honestly, I could even... No, it's actually, you see, it's just 20 proximity. I could think about going more east. First of all, there are no cities. And second of all, Buda is a really good location because of the rivers. Both here, I would get better proximity, but most important is spread farther down here. And their plains, and you know, then keep in mind, once I actually fix the HRE, I'll be able to unlock yet another local governor. Now, you see why I wanted to put Buda? This is really nice. Obviously, let's take a look if there are proper road system built. Yeah, for example, there's no road between Gomer and Rosenau, so this too. But mostly the roads are done, so this is what we're gonna achieve. We might be here and there a bit more we can do. Next step is definitely also to make sure this all cores, and that's why we are going after the foreign cultural law, because we are still missing accepted cultures capacity to get Hungarian done. Because 2.4, I have 1.4 of the limit. Anyway, this is where I'm gonna finish with really good borders. I surely want to expand this video to another episode. If you want me to do that, help me out, you know, with the usual YouTube stuff, likes, comments, etc. Next goals is to unite Anatolia, take actual Galicia over here for historical reasons, revoke the privilege in Germany, and fix the control in Hungary by making this all cores. I already fixed the proximity and the control will be actually increasing. It's just, you see, it will take time. And obviously, going to Italy as well. For the Italian wars to be in our favor, see, French League is actually over us because of Naples, but we'll be fixing that same as we fixed the base tax from, initial drop because of the latest patch. But for today, guys, thanks for watching, and we're gonna see you soon.